Hey everybody, Rich with the Fireplace, Mesa, Arizona. How we doing today? Hey, I'm here in our showroom. I'm in one of our gas rooms, and I wanted to spend a little time talking about gas log sets, the different styles and types, and direct vent fireplaces, what some of the differences are, and why you would choose one or the other for your project, say a wood to gas fireplace conversion or a gas fireplace remodel, a completely new installation, replacement of a direct vent. A lot of people are a little confused as to what the differences are between some of these products. A lot of people come into our showroom and say they need an insert because they've heard that term before, when in fact they're actually looking for a different product. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of a look at what these products do, and that way you can figure out which one's right for you, for your project, or what's going on at your home or commercial business. So let's start with gas log sets. And when I say set, I'm talking about the gas logs themselves, the burner, which can or cannot include a new gas valve, a new ignition system, a remote control, these sort of things. Then we'll discuss the difference between a vented gas set and something like this, which is a vent-free gas set, and where that might apply, and how that might apply to your particular situation. So first off, let's just review what we have here. So we have 6 different style log sets, if you will, minus one, which we'll talk about, but 5 of these are made by Grand Canyon Gas Logs. We do a lot of Grand Canyon Gas Logs installations, wood to gas conversions, and then gas remodels with these log sets. So, first off, the pans here, in this example, this is what's called the Lava Glow Fire by Grand Canyon. This is the latest and greatest in gas log technology. I don't know if it'll show up in the video here, but right in here we have what's known as some platinum embers. So when these burners are going, these platinum embers are actually glowing as well. They're throughout some of these logs here, and so they create an orange effect with the flames coming in front of it, between it, and behind it in this particular model. And all of this portion is covered up inside your fireplace. Typically with something like this, platinum embers, these are spread out at the bottom of the fireplace here, so that you get that ember bed glow at the bottom of the gas fireplace. We have models that have a single burner where the flames will come up between the logs, 2 burners, 3 burners. This pan, for example, again would be covered here. It has some very small perforations for our platinum embers to give us a really nice bed of glowing embers and add to that realism. But here is what determines the difference between a gas log set and something like this, which is a direct vent fireplace, one piece. So let's say you have a existing chimney, a wood burning fireplace, what they call a site built, which is like a masonry fireplace, or perhaps you have a newer home and it has a vented wood burner in there now, just the box, and you're tired of dealing with wood. That's where one of these guys comes into play. Basically, we run a gas line to that fireplace, to the firebox, the opening itself. We place one of these inside, and we install a new gas valve, we install a new ignition system. Again, if it's a remote, it can be battery powered, it could also be controlled by line voltage. There's both, depending on the budget, how far the electrical panel is, everything, etc., things like that. But a lot of people don't realize this is an option for them, or they don't realize that they can convert their wood fireplace. They think that something like this has to be slid into that opening, which this is a different product, and we will discuss the difference between a direct vent and an actual gas insert, or an electric insert. These are made for if you have a fireplace that doesn't have a solid piece of glass in front of it. You likely have what's known as a B-vent, or an atmospherically vented fireplace. And what that means is that air is being pulled in from the room, it's going into the firebox, and it's being sucked out the chimney. That's atmospherically vented or naturally vented. When we're dealing with something like a direct vent fireplace, what's happening behind this wall here, either out the back or going straight up vertical, we have two pipes. They can be a pipe inside of a bigger pipe, or they can be two individual pipes. This particular one uses a pipe inside of a bigger pipe. And the reason we have two pipes is from the back of our chimney or the back wall, wherever it's venting to or from, it's pulling in fresh air, pulling it into this firebox and exhausting the flue gases out the other pipe. So this is sealed, and we're not pulling in any air from the room. A lot of people think that if they want to replace their fireplace, they have to, well, a lot of people believe you just slide one of these in, which isn't the case. They do make fireplace gas inserts. More than likely, unless your fireplace has already been converted, you do not have a fireplace insert. You have what's known as a built-in fireplace. And a direct vent is one of the venting styles. Versus a gas log set, which you can utilize the cavity in a lot of cases. Now, you couldn't necessarily pull the glass off the front of a direct vent fireplace and just put one of these log sets in there. It wouldn't vent properly, it wouldn't be safe, that's not what it's designed for. Gas log sets were specifically designed for conversions, and they've been around for decades upon decades now. And again, their main function is to convert a wood-burning fireplace or to upgrade an existing gas fireplace that's got a B-vent or atmospherically vented. So if you have glass doors that you open, or you have a screen and you have a rack like this inside it, there's a very good chance that what you have there is an atmospherically vented gas fireplace, and you can in fact upgrade with a set like this. So let's talk about a couple of the different styles we have here. So obviously, first off, we have different looks as far as log sets go. Our Quaking Aspen set here, probably one of our most, well, not probably, it's one of our most popular sets. Now, these come in different sizes. This particular set is 24 inches, which is a fairly common size that would fit in, if the front of your fireplace is approximately 36 inches, more than likely you're going to be in something like this, maybe down to an 18-inch set. But 18, 22, 24, common size set for wood to gas fireplace conversions or existing gas log set upgrades. This particular set here has some ports here, and this is a 2-burner set. So we're gonna have some flames coming up in front of the logs, and we're gonna have some flames coming up between the logs. I actually own this set in one of my fireplaces at home. It looks gorgeous with the flames coming through it. and then the amber bed glowing below it. So one of our most popular sets. Second most popular set is this guy right here, and this is known as weathered oak. This particular burner is a 3 burner. So we have flames in the front, flames in the middle, flames in the rear. A really deep, rich, multi-tiered flame gives a beautiful look. The weathered oak look itself, especially when the flames are coming through it, give a really natural look. People really like it. Now here we have another weathered oak set, but this one is vent-free. So let's discuss what vent-free means for a moment. Just as it sounds, we do not need to vent this set. It works a little different than our vented gas sets. It still contains a gas valve. You could still control it with a remote control. It still has all the safeties, etc. But the reason it doesn't need to vent is because it's 99.99% efficient. So what does that mean to you? The biggest difference between a set like this, a vent-free set, and a set like this, a vented set, is this one has something called an ODS sensor, an oxygen depletion sensor. Since any air that's being pulled out of a building is being replaced somewhere else. Versus something like this, if you're not venting, it's pulling in the room air. The combustion process is taking place here, but it's also anything that's left, that 0.1% is being vented back into the room. You might think, oh my goodness, that's carbon monoxide poisoning going on right away, right? But it's not, because all of that carbon monoxide is actually being burned off on a set like this. They have their advantages, they have their disadvantages. One of the advantages is the heat output on these sets. Since we're not wasting any of that heat energy, it's not going out the chimney, it's going back into the room. So if you're looking to kind of heat up a space quickly and really get the maximum heat benefit out of that combustion process, vent-free is what you want. There are a couple of places where we will not recommend or not even install vent-free fireplaces. Small, tight spaces. In a very small 10 by 10 room, we would not install a fireplace like this, or excuse me, a log set like this. And that's because of its ability to pull the oxygen out of the room. The reason that ODS sensor is in there is it's constantly measuring the oxygen in the room. If the oxygen in the room falls below a certain point, it will shut this off to protect humans and pets in the home. The other place where these sets, it doesn't really apply to us as much in Phoenix because we're a very dry climate, but one of the byproducts of the combustion process with any fire is it produces moisture. I know that sounds a little odd, but that is the case. The combustion process produces moisture. So in a place like Florida, for example, southern Florida, you probably don't want to add any more moisture to the air. Where vent-free log sets will do that. Now, a vented log set is also producing moisture. Difference being, a lot of that moisture is actually being drawn out with the flue gases. Whereas this, it is staying within the room. The last pitfall of a vent-free log set is animal hair, dog dander, dust, anything that's in the room, because that's being pulled into the combustion process, is going to be burned off in there. So some people can complain about a smell, and the smell comes from this set not being cleaned enough. If it's being cleaned once, twice a year, you're not going to have that issue. It's a very similar smell to when you turn your heat on for the first time of the season. All that dust and animal dander, etc., that's collected on the coil or on the furnace, you're smelling that being burned off. And the reason it goes away is because then it gets burned off. Well, same here, but if you're lighting a fire, turning it off, lighting a fire, turning it off, as anything is landing on this, you can get that smell. Now, I also don't want to discourage people from vent free. I would have no hesitation as long as somebody knew the upsides and the downsides. The last downside that I really would cover is anybody with a breathing disorder, lung disease, that kind of thing. This probably isn't the right style for you. And that's because you're adding more elements that you're breathing in now. So if you already have breathing problems, you probably don't want to add foreign debris, dust, etc. into what you're breathing, right? So that's when we would go a different avenue. One thing you'll notice, you'll see this log looks out of place. The reason for that is this particular set, they're not all like this, but this particular set has some controls right up here at front. So this set is what's known as a standing safety pilot. And so we can turn on our pilot light, we press a little button to ignite. This set also has a variable flame. So you can control the height of the flame, etc. And then they put this log in here, it leans against the rack to kind of cover those up. Now they don't all operate like that. Some of them operate with a remote control. There's no standing pilot, you never have gas flowing. You click a button and everything takes place from there. All your controls on some of these are all located inside this unit, and that's why you see all this additional stuff here. So again, lava fire glow, latest technology, really looks great. This is only available in a vented set, multiple different sizes, from 18-inch all the way up to really grand sets. There are a few log sets that go up to 60, even 72 inches for huge wood burner fireplaces. Not as common here in Phoenix as maybe in Wyoming. We have a Western oak here. Again, we have the Quake and Aspen. We have the couple different weathered oak sets in this. The last set here that looks a little odd man out here. We're just demonstrating these are cannonballs. They're lightweight. This is a very modern, contemporary look, often requested, and typically we'll install them in a couple of different manners. We can have something called the hidden burner, where at the bottom of our firebox, it's just flat, it's layered with some glass or sometimes just cannonballs, and our flame is coming up through the cannonballs themselves. If you go to our social media pages, we've done a bunch of really cool jobs usually in very modern homes with cannonballs. There's one particular job that we did in Central Phoenix where not only did we do fiberglass on the bottom with a cannonball burner pan like this, but our client wanted spikes. And so the whole outside of this huge firebox, which is about 4 feet by 3.5 feet deep, was 100% custom built, the firebox and all by us. And surrounding it are these 14-inch spike sets, nickel-plated spike sets. I've never been asked to do a job like this before, and I thought it looked really cool when it was done. I probably will never get another request for that again, but the client loved it. A lot of other people love it. It's some people's taste, it's not others. Typically though, I don't know if the camera's capturing this, I'll move it up towards the end here, but typically you get a pan like this. It could be a raised pan, it could be a seated pan, and it has fiberglass in it. This particular, we have some clear reflective fiberglass, so it's kind of got a mirror on one side and it's clear on the other. And we'll put that in the pan, and the burner's inside the pan, and the flames will come up between the fiberglass. Again, a very modern, contemporary look. You can do something like that with a pan. You can do something like that, like I said, just at the bottom with a hidden burner. You could do a pan that doesn't have the legs like this. And the pans can come in different shapes, colors. This one obviously is kind of a stainless look, but you can get a black pan. You can hide that pan. Another popular way to go with fiberglass and burner pans like this is where, let's say, just this much of the pan was exposed, and the client will do one color glass surrounding it and then a different color inside the pan. So now we get really kind of a nice, real contemporary blend with, you know, some black and clear, or whatever your particular style is. Let's talk about a little bit more about direct vent. Actually, first, before we go back, this is probably the most economical way to convert wood to gas or upgrade an existing gas log set. If we're just upgrading an existing gas log set, obviously it's going to be the most economical, right? Because you already have gas there. Likely you already have power, or you can go to a battery operated remote style. But there's not a lot of infrastructure or surround to change, which we do as well. Stack stone, I'll show you some other finishes that we do here. So that's going to be basically the most economical way to do an upgrade to an existing gas fireplace. If it has logs and it's atmospherically vented. Let's say it's a wood fireplace conversion. First off, you don't have to have natural gas there. We can get these sets in propane. They're designed to operate with propane. A propane gas log set cannot be match lit. It's against code because propane and natural gas act differently. But we can get propane, or if a set comes specifically made for natural gas, typically, especially with these guys, the manufacturer makes a propane conversion kit. So we have plenty of homes around the valley where there's no natural gas in the neighborhood. Multiple options. You can go with propane tanks. We can hide them pretty well, run a propane gas line to them. But when we're going from a wood to gas conversion, things that we have to consider are where is our natural gas line, or where are we locating propane tanks? Are we buying a set that we want controlled by line voltage for remote control, or do we go with a battery operated electronic set? All those factors can change from home to home, where we have to run 75 foot of gas line or 5 feet of gas line. Same thing with electric. We can do some fireplaces where we're running line voltage to it. We do all this in-house, by the way. We're running line voltage to it, and the service entry panel or the breaker box is all the way on the other side of the house, you know, through grandma's house, through the woods, all that kind of stuff. Or it's 8 feet away. So all those things factored into it. On average, I would say we see wood to gas fireplace conversions running in the $4,000 to $7,000 range. If we already have gas there, etc., everything, obviously that's keeping it down. You're probably going to be more in the $3,000 to $4,000 range. And when I say the $3,000 to $4,000 range, I'm talking about a decent sized set, remote controlled, no standing pilot, so kind of like the best of. There are also sets like this where you have kind of a standing pilot. Those run a little less money. There's even match lit sets, which we can't do with propane, but we can do it with natural gas, where you're actually holding a long lighter, you turn your gas on, you light her up, and you have to do that every time you shut off. You shut it off, you got to go through that process again. So not very convenient. Very few people are doing that, because most people are upgrading from that because they don't like having to light their fireplace. You let too much gas build up, kind of like lighting your grill, and you get that woof. Nobody wants that. So more people are not going with that, but it's acceptable to do that. It can be safe to do that. But if it'll keep the cost down. So again, like I said, on average, I probably see probably our most common repair is upgrading, or our most common remodel is upgrading a standing pilot to electronic, or somebody just wants a refreshed log set and pan and all that good stuff. And I see $3,000 to $4,000 is pretty typical. Direct vent, now we start getting into new venting, new gas line. Now the advantage to something like, well, there's a lot of advantages, but one of the advantages is you don't have to have a fireplace there now. There doesn't have to be a masonry. We can install this in a corner. We can build this out from a wall. This is a fresh, new remodel in and of itself. This particular direct vent fireplace is called the Montigo DelRay Square. This is actually the remote control for that, not for this set. So right now I just have the overhead lighting on. It's got some built-in downlighting to it. We have this set equipped with, and you control all your temperatures, your flame height, all your options are built into this remote. You can even use a Wi-Fi app for these. This model, one of its claims to fame, right here we have some stacked stone. We install this type of surround. We install, I don't know if we can capture what's next to it in the video, but I'll turn around. But a lot of different options when it comes to what you can use to build the surround of your fireplace, the entire wall, the build out, mantle types, etc. Excuse me. Montigo, in this model in particular, has done some really cool stuff. One is, let's say we didn't have this stacked stone and we wanted to bring wood right down to the edge. In a lot of gas fireplaces, you couldn't do that for clearances. Excuse me. There are too many, you can't bring combustibles right down to the face of the fireplace. On this one you can. And that's because of some clever things they've done with the design. Another thing that the inside or the media of this fireplace is highly customizable. So we have a very large log set in here, and we also have this gray-black herringbone kit. That gray-black herringbone kit, you can choose, I'm gonna want to say probably 8 to 10 different backgrounds for this particular model. Log sets, you have many different log set options you can choose from. You can do fiberglass, you can do river rock, you can do stones and pebbles. I mean, really there's a lot of combinations to upgrade this fireplace. We have a protective, what they call their micro mesh screen here. So, whereas something like a gas log set, if you have little ones or something, you have to be mindful, right? You have to have some type of guard in front of it, your screen maybe, because little hands can get into an open hole, right? With this one, there's a screen that stops you from being able to touch the hot glass, okay? This fireplace, excuse me, can also be set up with something known as cool wall. And basically behind this wall, out of the top of this firebox, there are two openings. And we can connect a special type of ductwork to those openings and vent that somewhere else in a couple of different manners. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say we had a TV above this fireplace and we didn't want the heat from the fireplace itself to be impacting our electronics here. We can actually vent it so the heat is being displaced, and we put a linear vent across the top here and blow the heat out across over the top into the room over the top of the television. Another option would be, so for example, this one's on a 45-degree angle. Well, it's actually not quite 45, but it's on an angle. Figures I'm doing a video and I'm choking, but I'm going to run this on YouTube. Another option would be some sidewall vents. So let's say this build out was coming straight out like this here, and our fireplace was here, and we had a wall here, we had a wall here. We could put vents out the side. Another thing that you can do with direct vent now, and only on some models, is you can actually either displace that heat outside, and I'll tell you why you might want to consider that, or you can actually duct this heat into another room. Why would you want to put heat outside? All right, so we live in Phoenix, right? We don't have harsh winters. That's where something like this, yes, they're putting off heat, yes, it's nice, but it's for the room. You probably can run it much longer on a cool night than you could, say, a direct vent fireplace that was putting out way more BTUs of heat. A lot of people want the ambiance and look, so you might go to a restaurant or something like that. You see they have a beautiful fireplace. It's not putting out that much heat. Number one, they're doing that for safety reasons, right? Small hands, it's a public space. But in your home, if you can only enjoy it for 20, 30 minutes at a time, what good is that? So a lot of people, especially here in Phoenix now, are looking at direct vent fireplaces and displacing a bunch of that heat directly outside of the home. Because it's not about heating the home as much as it's about the ambiance. So, that is an overall look at gas log sets, some of the different types versus a direct vent. And I'm going to carry you guys around my showroom just for a minute here and wrap up and show you an electric insert to give you an idea, as well as a linear gas fireplace. So first off, I referenced some other stone here, and there are sheets like this where we have, a full wall instead of having a stacked stone look, right? So slabs. We do that as well. That's actually a veneer there that we've trimmed out with some aluminum just to give it kind of a cool space age look. Give you an idea, that wall is, I believe, 8 feet by 8 feet. And that so we have 8 foot to the ceiling, 8 foot wide. That's a slab there. We have a bunch of different style fiberglass. These are our most popular colors. Comes in many more colors. But let's just look at a couple of different fireplaces here inside our showroom. This is another direct vent gas fireplace. This one has a barnwood surround with a barnwood wall behind it. We do those as well, obviously. And this is actually the same manufacturer that we had in the other gas room. This is the DelRay Linear. This one has a mix of some pebbles in the bottom as well as some driftwood. So just to give you an idea, and this guy, I believe, if memory serves, is 5 footer. Yeah, I believe it's a little over 5 feet long there. I wanted to show you one more. I'm not going to get into all of our fireplaces, but I wanted to take a look at this guy and show you what an actual insert looks like. I'm gonna kind of tilt this down so I can get back in front of it. This one is actually, we're waiting for repairs, so we might even see it glitch. I think I just saw it. There's an easy repair for that. And that's one of the cool things about electric. But picture this was gas, it's not, it's electric, but this is an electric insert. And basically, they sell them in different sizes. This particular guy is 36 inches. And what it's meant to do, see there's a glitch. That's repairable, by the way. This is an older, actually it's a USB in here. And that USB needs to be replaced. So I have it on order and it's coming in tomorrow. Let's say you had an existing chimney and you were converting a wood fireplace to gas or a wood fireplace to electric. You would choose a insert, and then basically now, picture this was our chimney opening, and we put this box in there, we hook up our gas or we hook up our electric or what have you, and then they have different size trim kits, like this guy here, to fill the rest of that gap without having to redo the surface of the chimney. By the way, this is another install option here in just a cabinet like this, where these are nice and something like this comes into play, is you wanted to put one against the wall just like this where there was no fireplace before. This is a very economical way to install the fireplace. This particular guy here is the Modern Flames Orion Traditional, and the 26 inch and the 36 inch here, this 36, are really designed with a bunch of different trim kits because those are very common sizes to fill a home. So, hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I know this is a long video. I really do appreciate you guys coming and checking us out here. If you'd like to tour the showroom, go to thefireplaceaz.com. You can book online or give us a call from there. We're located in downtown Mesa. We do showroom appointments. We do require an appointment for a showroom tour, and that's so that we can dedicate the time to you and not be interrupted by other people. So, but we'll give you all the time you need. We'll discuss surrounds, backgrounds, fireplace types. We have a bunch of them in here. Over a dozen electrics, gas, the gas logs you just saw. There's much more to see. I didn't even walk through all the rooms we have here. So thanks for watching. Rich with the Fireplace, thefireplaceaz.com. Thanks everybody. Bye.